Hey everybody, this is Ed from the Whiskey Tangent Podcast here with another Whiskey Short, and this one's a special one as we revisit an episode we did a long time ago with the same love and intensity of music.
Yep.
Joining us on this episode, as always, is Scott.
Hey everybody.
And with our special guest, the pillars of the Jacket Club, Gabe, the Whiskey Sherpa.
Hello, friends.
And Shavonne, the Mayor.
Hi.
And Scott will tell you what we're doing.
Yeah. So, as Ed alluded to, episode 48 was our all-metal episode where we tasted Slipknot and Metallica Blackened, their regular first version of that they had.
And a half gallon of something else I think I drank as well.
And a half gallon of other stuff. And on that, we determined that Metallica was our favorite metal band of the Whiskey Tangent Podcast. So, we're revisiting that. We have two expressions of Blackened now, and we're going to get right to it.
Whiskey Short.
So, just a brief 3-paragraph quick story of the Metallica Blackened. So, Blackened began as a collaborative effort between Metallica and master distiller and blender Dave Pickerel, a West Point graduate and whiskey savant who had previously worked with Maker's Mark, Whistle Pig, Garrison Brothers, and many others. All Blackened whiskeys are jolted to life by the unmistakable, earth-shattering music of Metallica. Using a proprietary black noise sonic enhancement process, which agitates the whiskey deeper into the wood of the barrel where it picks up additional flavors. Sadly, Dave Pickerel passed away in late 2018, shortly after the launch of the original Blackened, and Rob Dietrich took over in 2019 as the guardian of Dave's legacy. And the first whiskey that we have, courtesy of Shavonne. Shavonne has been waiting at least a year for us to get this on the podcast.
It's a long time coming.
Is Rye the Lightning, their rye expression. And I have a short description of that, and then we will start drinking.
Yes.
Master distiller and blender Rob Dietrich, who I just mentioned, wanted to demonstrate the evolution of his own whiskey-making career by releasing a rye that has depth but is still sessionable and, most importantly, enjoyable to drink. Named Rye the Lightning because the playlist used in their sonic enhancement process are songs from Metallica's second studio album of the same name. No, of the Ride the Lightning. The pun.
Close, but no guitar.
Close, but not the same name. Specifically, the set list from their June 2012 Orion Music and More Festival, the one and only time the band has ever played the album live in its entirety. Ride the Lightning was double finished in Madeira and rum casks, and it was during the rum cask finish that the whiskey underwent the black noise sonic enhancement. In addition, the bottle's label is emblazoned with a green sound wave to differentiate it from other blackened whiskeys and align it with the historical significance of using the color green to characterize bottles of rye whiskey.
Yeah.
Quick question now. I know in the original Blackened, they would have a number on the back of the bottle where you could look online for the set list they used for that sonic aging. Is that the same case?
It is for all of them. So this is all the songs on Ride the Lightning. Call of Cthulhu, Creeping Death, Escape, Trapped Under Ice, a Kirk Hammett solo, Fade the Black, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Ride the Lightning, and Fight Fire with Fire.
So the entire album.
Right.
Correct.
Wow.
This proof is 90. The age is 5 to 8 years initially, and then 2 to 14 weeks each in Madeira and then rum casks. Mash bill and source distiller are not disclosed, but the blender bottler is Sweet Ambler Distilling Company of Mineville, New York. Price is about $70. Shavonne, do you remember a year ago what you paid for it?
80.
80? Okay.
Yeah. 2 to 14, that's hell of a spread.
Yeah, I think one was 2 and one was 14.
Okay, all right. Yeah, they should iron that out a little bit.
I don't know why that was such a stretch, but I mean, maybe it tastes better. Like they picked it out at 7 at some point.
Yeah, I like Gabe a 2 or an 8. I mean, that's a big difference. Like, do I like him or don't I? I mean, you got to figure it out, you know?
A 2 or an 8.
Thanks,
There's
Ed.
no 10 involved.
Oh, my God.
Took a while for the animosity to come out, but it's here.
Here it is.
I've intentionally not met you on an episode in like a month just so you'd start to miss me.
It's been bubbling up from underneath.
All right, so this one is in your number 1 neat glasses, so just swirl.
That's right. We are swirling our neat glasses. And once again, as always, if you haven't joined the parade, the number 1 whiskey tasting glass in America can be yours if you go to neatglass.com. And if you put in Whiskey Tan, you get 10% off that first order.
Smells like a rye.
It's a very busy nose.
It's giving me Angel's Envy.
Oh,
on the
is
nose.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting a lot of rum then.
Yeah.
Yeah, rum and some peachy apricot undertones.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of tropical note I get.
Yeah, maybe some pineapple coconut type.
That's me, because I'm wearing pineapple coconut lotion.
You're smelling Shavonne.
You need to slide your seat over, mister.
You're a little too close.
Evidently, you're
Apparently
too
I'm
close.
just nosing the wrong thing over
Get
here.
off her lap and smell your own whiskey.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was your neck. My bad.
Are we drinking?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
There really is so much to this nose. It's way more complex than I expected to be.
Yeah, me too.
I get a bit of oaky now, some light leather.
Yes, I do. I have a little bit of leather and herbaceousness in the beginning, actually. Because at the end, I'm getting all the fruit.
Yeah, it's really complex, undoubtedly because of the finishing.
Wow. It's almost confusing. There's so much going on. It's hard for me to kind of separate
It really
what I'm
is.
smelling. It's one of the most complex noses I've actually ever smelled in a rye.
I'm getting some what do they call those raisins? The green raisins?
The yellow ones?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
sultanas.
Can we taste it now?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
go
we've
ahead.
just been sniffing.
I mean,
We're professionals. We don't rush.
I mean, it's a lot of rice spice. It's a lot of dark fruit.
This was worth the wait.
Oh, wow.
Shavonne, I said, oh, wow, at the same time.
I was laughing because of how much I knew you guys were going to like this when you
Yeah.
drank it. I
Oh,
tried
wow.
first.
That's
Wow.
really
Yeah.
good.
This is terrific.
It comes on in lightness, but then when it gets to the back of your throat, it turns a jackhammer on.
A lot of what I'm smelling, I'm tasting too, which is
Yes.
not always the case in ryes. Very sweet up front.
Yeah, but then the spice hits you in the back.
Yeah, a lot of fruit notes, a lot of rum notes, if you will, like molasses.
Yeah.
And then, boom, spice is still on my tongue, even though I haven't sipped in like 30 seconds. This is what I'm trying to figure out what a finish is, because remember...
I know.
when
does the finish
when does the
start?
finish? Because I'm feeling the pepper burn in my throat right now. Is that still the finish?
It still lingers down your throat. Raisin is the biggest tasting note that I get on this. Like, it smells like raisins. It tastes like raisins.
Yeah.
The intensity just keeps rising up. Like Ed said, it goes in sweet, and it just holds on the back of your throat.
This is exceptional.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's
Couple
only
drops.
90 proof, but it
Hits harder than
It
that.
hits harder than that.
Absolutely.
feels about
Absolutely, it
110.
does.
No, I mean, for me, if you told me this was 98 or 100, I'd be like, okay, for
Yeah.
sure. It does not hit like a 90.
Yeah, it's about where it hits, about 100.
I put 4 drops of water. It's definitely more alcohol forward, even though I put water in it, I feel. But it opened up a lot more, and I'm kind of getting like green apple.
Oh,
I got a little bit of that. I concur.
Ed concurs, so I'm not a lunatic.
I did the same. I put 4 drops in, and it seems like the spice comes up quicker.
Is it a lunatic if you're by yourself? Is that what that is? Did you make up a
Yes.
new word?
A
Oh my
lunatic.
God, I'm a lunatic. No one else.
that's what I thought she was going to say.
That's what I thought she said, too,
I thought
for
she
a
was going to
minute.
say,
What did I say?
you said a lunatic, but I thought you were going to say, I'm not alone.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna- yeah. So I
Because
was like,
it kind of came out like I'm not a lunatic.
I'm not a
not a
lunatic.
lunatic. I am drinking, guys.
So am I.
To me, with the water in it, makes it a little bit more subtle and a bit sweeter.
Yeah, I was just going to say I get like an intense sweetness in the back now.
Yeah.
Right, the sweetness where it kind of fell off in favor of the spice, the sweetness lingers longer in the taste. It extends almost to the finish, but then the rye spice again
But it's such a
takes
rye
over.
too, though. It is a traditional tasting rye with the finish making the flavors dance all around your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want anything more in a
Yeah.
Do you
finished
have
rye
tasting
like
notes
this.
from this?
I do, from Breaking Bourbon. On the nose, subtle but complex, with fig, pear, and molasses, joined by light rye spice, raisin, and a hint of anise.
Yeah, right there. I think we didn't get anise, but we were everything else.
Palate, burnt brown sugar, rich rum cake, cinnamon spice, and toasted oak. There's
Okay.
a slight
Yep.
nuttiness underneath, along with hints of raisins and dark fruit that are accented by a very light citrus note.
Yeah, we've hit most of those,
Yeah.
those
Sure.
points.
Except I don't think we said citrus particularly,
Yeah.
but that's okay because citrus is much minor compared to the raisin
Yeah.
and the molasses on the taste too.
Yeah, he says very light.
Finished now?
Finish. Slight heat integrates with more robust rye spice.
Yeah.
Hazelnut, brown sugar, and light seasoned oak come into play, complementing the spicy crescendo. That's exactly
Absolutely.
what we said.
Right, man. We nailed this one, man.
Medium to long, capping a nicely balanced, well integrated, and surprisingly complex and satisfying sip.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I think we could have
totally.
written
Yeah.
the same thing. We all agree with that.
But this is an excellent bottle, though.
Yeah.
If I get a little extra cash, I'm going to hunt this down.
Yeah, this is surprisingly good.
Absolutely. This is a little treat to yourself. If you can get a 70, 80s becomes a little bit more of a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably go up to 90 on this bottle, but now you're talking about Fibonacci from Stellum.
Yeah,
so
now you're
then,
talking about-
so then I got to make choices in my life.
Yeah, but lucky for us, we have a Shavonne,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we know where the bottle's hiding.
That's right.
And you know that I'm not going to drink it like it's
we
apple
do.
juice.
Right. Yeah.
Do you often have that mistake looking at a liquid?
It's going to be awkward though when she
No.
turns the light on the living room and Gabe's climbing in the window and I'm propping him up.
And Madison's just standing there watching this all go down.
Right.
No, we have a rope ladder from my window to her window.
Oh, that's even better. Oh my God, yeah.
You have to jump out and swing across. Get some momentum.
Then we would have to share it with you, Scott. We want to cut you out as well.
Oh, I see.
So we'll just swing down from the roof.
Throw the bottle. I give you the whip.
Give me the stones, Dr. Jones. All right.
We have another one to taste, don't we?
Yeah, second whiskey. So this is
But
the
wait,
whiskey.
there's more.
Yeah, this is the whiskey that Ed gave me for my birthday last September. So
Right.
we've been waiting almost a year as well to
Right.
taste this
Oh
one.
my gosh.
This is the Blackened Willet collaboration.
I think this was the most expensive bottle I ever bought in a store. I don't think I ever bought one more than this for just me.
Yeah.
In this case, it still wasn't for me.
Right. It was for me, but
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Big hurting
I'm
on this
not.
bottle.
I'm not looking for judgment. I'm just
No,
saying
no.
that it's a special
Because it's
bottle.
here if you want it.
Yeah, well, I have some in my glass. I'm
Right.
about to drink it.
So in 2021, the Masters of Whiskey series was born from the core tenet of Blackened American Whiskey and Metallica collaboration. And for the first release in the series, Rob Dietrich and Willet Distillery's own master distiller Drew Kulsveen teamed up to create a Blackened Willet Kentucky Straight Rye whiskey finished in Madeira casks. So the other one was finished in Madeira and rum, and this is just Madeira. Blackened's founder, partner, and late master distiller Dave Pickerel was a longtime friend of the Kulsveen family. As part of the same small circle of elite Kentucky distillers, they bonded over their shared passion for whiskey making. In 2011, when the Kulsveens were working to bring the Willet distillery back to life, Dave pitched in some of his technical know-how. And then later, when Blackened was scouting locations for a brand video, the Kulsveens graciously offered their distillery as the setting to capture footage of Dave in his element. It was then that the Blackened and Willet teams were introduced and their collaboration took root. This is 109.6, so we're climbing a bit.
A bit.
A bit. The mash bill is
Just a tad.
not disclosed. It's a blend of high and low rye content rye whiskeys. The age is up to 8 years initially and 14 weeks in the Madeira casks. The source distiller is Willet in Bardstown. Blender bottler again, Sweet Ambler Distilling. They do all their bottling. The price is about $140. So as Ed was alluding to, is that about what you paid for it?
I paid $165.
Wow.
Yeah.
Two reasons for it. It was his birthday, and he'd been really good this year. And doing a lot of work for the podcast. Second of all, it was Willet, which I have a crush on Willet, a distillery. I do. I haven't had too many things that disappoint me from Willet. And it's the Blackened, which I know we've been pursuing in different intervals. And so I can't wait for us to do it.
Yeah, well, thank you, sir. And the songs, as we smell, are For Whom the Bell Tolls, Master of Puppets, King Nothing, Welcome Home Sanitarium, Dyer's Eve, Broken Beat and Scarred, The Thing That Should Not Be, Atlas Rise, Of Wolf and Man, One, and Enter Sandman.
I love
Wow.
it.
All over the board on their
They
list.
blasted the hell out of this barrel.
That's a great song.
That would be a great playlist in your car just to go through the eras, man. There's so many different ones on there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, so we're smelling.
Yes. So the nose has got some similar things, but it's very different.
More subtle than the rye.
Yeah, and it's definitely, you can smell higher alcohol.
I think it's funny. You said this Madeira is 14 weeks, and the other one had Madeira 2 or 14. I think we figured out that last time they used Madeira 14 for that one too, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
getting like a parfum of sorts.
Yeah,
So I guess flowery.
it is floral.
Floral.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's amazing how different two rye whiskeys from the same company can smell.
Yeah.
You know, they just smell very different.
Yeah, because we don't know where they got the rye for the Rye the Lightning, but this was definitely Willet.
Prison.
Prison.
Do we have any Willet Rye?
No.
I have some.
Do you have some Willet
Is that
Rye?
what you got me for Christmas?
I think so.
The Willet 4-year?
Maybe we want to taste it, see how much of that is in here.
Yeah, let's taste this, and then we can take a
Sure.
short break,
Yeah, just
and then
take a
come
look.
back with our
Yeah.
top Metallica songs each, and sip the Willet against it.
Sip the Willet sounds like a pretty good thing to do. Ooh. Hey, what do you want to do tonight? Want to go sip the Willet? Yeah, I'll sip the Willet with you.
Getting,
Did you taste it?
yeah, I got like a red apple.
Oh,
Red
yeah.
delicious apple
Sure.
skin.
Right before you said red apple, I'm sniffing it still, and I immediately got red apple skins.
Yeah, we didn't do much of the nose.
It's very understated.
I didn't get the raisin like I got on the last one, but
yeah, the lower proof one was much fruitier on the nose, and this didn't have that much.
Maybe that's because of the absence of the rum cask finish.
Oh, possibly.
Yeah. You know, I will say too that it doesn't have that throat punch, that Kentucky hug, like the
yeah, the other one
Rye
actually,
had.
I can feel the higher proof of it.
Right. Right.
But it's not burning the back of my throat like the other one did.
No.
And I have no idea why. I've
No.
been drinking
Yeah,
whiskey
no.
for a long time, and I can't tell you why. Why a 90 can burn more in the throat than a 109 can. I
Yeah.
can't answer that question.
And it kind of diminished a bit quicker. It's not holding on like
It does
the Rye
seem to
the
have a
Lightning.
quicker finish, but
Yes.
so we've tasted this before, and we never put it through its paces like this. And I don't know, maybe because we're tasting it right after the other rye, it tastes a little different. But I am still getting what I had gotten before, which was, and what I always get is cherries.
Yeah.
There's a nice dark cherry note to
Yeah,
this.
there's some vanilla
Oh,
on
man.
this.
Yeah, on the nose I
There's
could taste
oak.
that.
I'm getting like a woody, oaky.
It is very much oakier than the Rye the Lightning.
Yeah, with a couple drops of water, that what Scott just mentioned, the cherries are coming forward.
Almost like a cherry vanilla to me. There was a lot of vanilla.
Yeah, the vanilla was escaping me, but I do taste it. It was just the oak was sort of overwhelming it for me. I'm going to dry some water in it.
And somehow, with a couple drops of water, also, it seems that it has gotten spicier for some reason. I don't know why.
So then I won't add any water.
That happens with rye sometimes, where you add some water, it'll get even spicier. Yeah, a little bit of water on this is helps it.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
Helps make it fruitier.
I'm getting less spice with the water. I mean, it's just because I expected to get more spice and I didn't.
I just added some water and the same thing.
More spice or less?
More spice.
More spice was the original heavy spice girl that was cut out.
She was more spice.
Oh my God, I'm scary spice. I'm more spice.
Hi, guys.
Why does she have a man's voice?
I know.
I'll be at the buffet if you need me.
We are terrible people.
Because it's really what she wants, what she really wants.
I see what you did there, Ed.
Oh, shit. I don't know if it's a better whiskey, but it is more of a punch of alcohol. Mm-hmm. When you put water on it and proof it down to maybe about 100, which is, by the way, what the Rye the Lightning tasted like. It was at 100.
Right.
You get a whole bunch of other flavors.
So I think, once again, what we've shown here is this might be a little bit more of a complex whiskey, but for $75, $80 compared to $160, you got to ask yourself, which would I rather drink? The Blackened Rye?
Right.
Or this one
double.
for a double?
You know what I get? A lot of this, you can definitely taste that it's the Willet Rye, because Willet Rye has that dill spice into it. And that is maybe what's counteracting some of the sweetness that you might get.
But that's why I want to taste the Willet Rye against it, because the Willet Rye should be, even in this area, $69 to $75. So if I can get that, let's see how that holds up against the $160 one, right?
I got you. Is the Madeira cask really doing much to it?
It's 14 weeks in a Madeira cask going to really take this to another level.
Yeah. All right, so the tasting notes are from the Whiskey Jug.
Yeah, finally he's back.
Yeah, he's back. So on the nose, oak, dilly rye spice, plummy dark fruit, sweet tobacco, heavy baking spices with touches of toffee, vanilla, and copper. A juicy and multifaceted aroma that keeps moving and shifting a bit. This is a fun whiskey to just sit and sniff. And I don't necessarily agree with that. Like,
no, the other
we
one
weren't really getting a lot.
The other one had a better nose, but
although after you put the water in it, it does really.
He's just trying to make offensive taste. Like, well, it's a very moist whiskey. just saying words to disturb people.
On the palate, same oak and dilly rye spice that's on the nose, plus cocoa, leathery dried dark fruit, clove, and anise with some bits of orange peel.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that.
Sweet tobacco and hazelnuts, earthy and darkly sweet. The palate starts a bit dry and oaky, but opens to a nice balanced sweetness. The finish is long with oak, dill, leather, dark fruit, and orange peel.
He did catch your dill, though. He caught your dill.
Yeah.
But it's
What is your dill?
Here, catch.
What's the deal with you? All right, let's take a quick break and go dig out that Willet Rye from our vault.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hashtag Shavonne's vault.
We'll be right back. Okay, so we're back with the Willet to compare to the Willet and Metallica Blackened collaboration, and also to discuss our favorite Metallica songs.
Yeah, it's funny. I gave this Willet to Shavonne. She told me. I actually didn't remember doing it, but I'm not surprised I did.
Yeah.
So I was just giving Willet out for everyone's birthday this year, evidently. Sorry, Gabe. And so it's like, Gabe got a scarf. But anyway,
it said Willet on it.
Right. It said won't it.
Won't it?
I guess it won't.
Yeah.
No, it's cool.
So this is one of my all-time favorite whiskeys. Anyone who's been following the podcast knows. This is the story about when I bought it in the liquor store down the shore and the guy wouldn't give it to me. He kept pulling it back to his ear like,
are you sure you're going to buy it?
He got it in the back from me. He's like, you sure you're going to buy it now, right? You sure?
Yes,
That's how rare it was.
Give it to me.
So what we're really doing here is trying to compare the $170 bottle of Willet Rye.
Oh, wow.
Blackened.
I need some more of the $170 bottle.
Yeah, we should. Let's get another splash of that.
There we go. It's right here.
I believe I had this one time a couple of years back. It's very good.
Oh, it's tremendously good. I think this is the 4-year Family Estate Rye.
I love the way this smells.
Let's taste the blackened one again.
All right.
They're like one proof apart.
108.8
and 109.6.
Okay. So that's on a point apart.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, wow. Did you hurt your jaw?
No.
I thought somebody broke up. Wow.
Oh, my God.
Sounds painful.
Wow.
I think your uvula broke off.
Oh, my God. sounds dirty till you remember what it is.
Right.
By the way, that's probably the first time we've mentioned uvula on the podcast.
Ooh, that Willet.
Probably.
It's a little thicker and harsher because it's a little more youthful at 4 years.
Yeah, Willet's really good, but it's an in-your-face rye, as Willet ryes are.
Ooh.
And the Metallica Blackened, it's a little softer.
Yeah, I think this shows what aging in another 4 years can do to it. Now, they have a version of it that comes out 8 year. I just have not been able to find
It's
it.
really hard to find.
And it's very expensive. It's like $300
yeah,
around here.
it's ridiculous.
Canals has it.
Do they?
What do they want for it?
What you said?
About $300. Yeah.
I think it was 400 actually.
Right. So at that point, I'd rather have. Now it's funny how you swing the pendulum, right? If I can an 8 year Willet in the Blackened at $150, I'm going to do that.
Of course.
Right, yeah.
Instead of the $400.
The Blackened Willet combo can be both too expensive and a bargain depending on which aisle you're turning from.
That's right.
The Willet small batch rye, it comes off strong, but somehow tart in not a bad way.
More herbaceous. The mint's a lot stronger. It's got some leather. What do you get? Take some maybe a little wet tobacco.
Got a lot going on.
I can see that. Yeah, it's oaky, it's leathery, it's vegetal.
I had this actually at the local, and Anders gave me a very nice pour of it.
As he will.
Yes.
It was delicious then, but I think this bottle is much milder than that one, and I really like that.
It's a little bit lower proof. I think the one you had was around 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
But even so, I think you're right. This is a nice mash bill right here.
Yeah, and you can taste its youthfulness to it, which I think you were alluding to before, Ed. And with the Madeira cask one,
Right.
with the Blackened, it just softens everything, and you get an extra layer of fruitness.
Yeah, right.
You know, who doesn't like that?
Right.
These are all been amazing.
Yeah,
All
have.
three of
Yeah,
these.
even their youthful Willet one.
I just want to add one more thing. I'm getting a taste of rose at
Oh.
the very end of the Willet.
Interesting.
Rose.
Rose.
Yeah.
You said you taste rose at the end of the drink.
Crickets.
Come on in, guys.
I just want to comment and hit the high note. It's been a while.
I don't know
we
what
were in the kitchen and we're having a
doing,
coffee. And all right,
that,
hold on.
by Seal, that song.
Kiss from a rose.
Yeah, it's the very beginning before he elevates.
Baby!
Yeah, I was hoping you would take it over for me.
From that horrible Batman movie?
Yeah. Speaking of music, we're going to give our favorite
yes.
Metallica
Oh,
song.
Oh
yeah.
my God, that's right.
Real quickly, we'll just go around. Gabe, you go first.
All right, well, real quick, I went down through their set list, that brought their albums up, and I saw their songs, and, you know, having close to 40 years worth of excellent music.
It's amazing.
I put 20 songs down at first, narrowed it down to 10, and then I went to what I would want to hear first, basically, and my number one is One.
I can't remember anything. Can't tell if this is true or dream. Deep down inside I feel the stream. This terrible silence stops in there.
Oh, wow. All right, good choice,
Interesting.
man. Yeah, that's definitely in my top 5 for sure.
The whole, you know, methodology behind the song and
Yeah.
the video itself and what it brings up image wise, it's deep and it's got some great story behind it and tempo changes, and it's what really brought me to the table for Metallica. I was a casual fan till I saw that video and I was like just blown away. My mouth was open, and
I think a lot of people
Wow,
will.
your
Yeah.
mouth was open, eh?
I thought
I knew someone was going there. I
19
put it out there for someone to swing.
1989. I saw them twice on that tour, the Justice for All tour.
They were so heightened at
Right.
that point. Like
Yeah.
Metallica was almost like a Beyonce. Once they came out with the video of One, their fan base exploded.
Because back then, I mean, heavy metal was sort of an afterthought, even on
Yeah.
MTV.
Yeah.
Right, it
And,
was.
you know, and for them to come to the mainstream and just like, here we are, and this is what we got, and you're going to like it,
Yeah.
blew people away.
I just want to say one thing.
Good choice, Gabe.
All of my glasses are empty, so you know what that means. They were all delicious.
Yeah. Would you like something else to occupy your glass?
I would like some more of the black and
You want more of
Willet.
the Black and Willet
Yeah.
as you give us your favorite Metallica
Yes.
song?
All right. So there are only so many Metallica albums that I've listened to. I've listened to Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and
All
Justice
good.
for All, Metallica, Load and Reload. And that's where I stopped. But I will say, ultimately, it came down to And Justice for All. And, you know, one of the things that I always seem to go back to is what had the most impact on me. Now, when this song came out, I was already a Metallica fan. To the point of teachers were calling my house. My principal was concerned for my well-being. My parents had taken away my Metallica tapes.
Oh.
And I went back to school and just had a friend dub their version for me.
Right.
So I would say Metallica 1
Oh,
is my favorite
Wow.
song.
Same as
Same one.
Gabe's.
That's amazing.
That's digging my sight, digging my feet, taking my hair, taking my arms, taking my legs, taking my soul, left me with life in
So I was 9.
Wow, that's
And I was listening to Metallica before then.
She was a precocious child.
This is probably when you were selling those liquor bottles after school, right?
I mean, that's why your parents and teachers were concerned. Everyone else is listening to Baby Shark.
And I think Baby Shark.
She's like, "Kill 'em all!" All right.
So, yeah.
We have 2 for 1. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I will go. Mine's not as extensive an explanation. I didn't go
Oh, really?
too deep into it.
It sounds like somebody is throwing some
Shade.
I didn't go that deep into it.
I'm not throwing shade.
I know. It's okay.
You just threw shade, though.
I did.
She has
It's
a
all right.
fan that says shade on it, and she thwapped it.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Shade.
And then just keep all that in.
I felt the walls shake. Holy moly.
So Death Magnetic, which is my favorite album.
That's amazing to me that it's your favorite. I know you like it,
Yeah.
but to trump some of the classics, it really impresses me. So talk about that for a minute.
Okay, so
You're wrong. I'm just kidding.
and
I
ironically,
was so encouraging, wasn't I? And then just flipped the script on him.
ironically, my favorite song is not from that album, but I did consider that album because it's my favorite overall. I was going through a divorce at the time,
Yeah.
and so similar to a story that Shavonne usually tells, how it affects you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was the first album that was a big metal album from a band that I really loved, and it came out, and I didn't know that it was kind of controversial or people didn't like it, and I wasn't really into that. But I was, bad breakup. It was a difficult time, and I just really gravitated to this album. I played it over and over and over
Wow.
and over again.
Yeah.
There's not a bad song on the album. They're constructed amazingly. I feel like my favorite band is Tool, and I feel like with that album, Metallica listened to a lot of Tool before they started playing that, because there's a lot of chord changes, there's a lot of timing changes, tempo changes, the drumming and the guitar work, and Hetfield's voice. However, I think my favorite song by Metallica, notwithstanding one, which is an excellent song,
Yeah.
and Master of Puppets, of course, and they have 50 other great songs.
Yep.
But mine's from the Black Album, and I just think this is the quintessential Metallica song. It's got a driving beat. It's about sort of like a mental schism, and it's got a twist ending. And my favorite song is Sad But True.
Nice. It is 100% only Metallica could do it. His vocals are like, hey, hey.
Do my dirty work, scapegoat.
Do my dirty work, scapegoat.
So I've been a Metallica fan probably since I was 13 or 14, but I remember the first album I actually bought was Master of Puppets when it came out, okay, when I was just like in high school. And I just fell in love with the whole album. It made me go backwards and listen to Kill 'Em All, which I'd never listened to before, and the earlier stuff. And then it had me waiting for Justice for All when it came out, and that's why I went to see him. And so for me, my favorite song from Metallica that I probably listen to the most every year is Battery. Battery to me is the atypical Metallica song. It has the energy and fury and youthful anger of metal that I kind of fell in love with, the rebellion of it, and just the guitar in there, and it just makes you want to run around your bedroom and jump on your bed and jump off of it. I can't even tell you how many concerts I had with me playing that album straight through, but I always opened the show with Battery.
Battery, I would never would have guessed, but Battery is such a hard driving, fast, difficult, I think, song to play because it's so fast.
Yep. And it's funny, I just showed you like Robert Trio auditioning for Metallica using Battery as the audition song that he played.
And they were completely impressed by that.
Right, because they know how hard it is to play that song, because that, anything Clive did was hard.
It's a good selection, Ed. I mean, I didn't make my top 15, but it was right there.
Well, he had to say that, though.
Right. Shame.
I am agreeing with Ed. It's a great song.
Yeah,
but we all have our taste, obviously.
No, absolutely.
We do. So it's something interesting I found on YouTube where they do those stat things where it's like, you know, the number one video game of all time, and or the biggest capital cities in the world, and from like 1600 to 2022. Right. So they did the performances of Metallica songs in concert, and all 4 of our songs are on their top 10.
Oh, that's great.
The top 10 songs that they played. So, I mean, I don't think that that's a coincidence, because, I mean, that's why they're playing them, because they're everybody's favorite songs.
They have such just a magical collection of music.
They really do. And some really good whiskeys.
Absolutely, yes.
Hello, segue.
Yeah, this will bring it back home. So I think that's it. I think we all liked all of these.
Yeah.
If you can get any of the Blackened expressions, even the regular one.
Yeah, the regular one.
It's actually really still very good.
Yeah. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but I wore my Ride the Lightning earring.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Nice.
It did.
Cool.
Yeah. You're very thematic tonight.
And, you know,
I have my creeping death thong on.
God. Jesus, Palomino.
Because it creeps up my buttocks, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God. Take us out.
So if you can find any of the Blackened expressions, whether you're starting at the cheapest and going all the way up to the top, depending on which side of the whiskey aisle you're coming from, make your decision. I think that the Blackened Rye that we enjoyed tonight for around 80 was the best buy of the bunch. But you find your own Blackened and take it out for a ride. I think you won't be disappointed. For the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Shavonne.
I'm Gabe.
Later.